Good morning, is it from Zetster's Lab? Well, this video is especially for one of my friends from YouTube, Dee, because she ran into the same problem as me. We love Gelli Plate printing, but what to do with all the prints? That is a thing. I mean, there's not a nicer art technique than Gelli Plate printing. You go and you sit down, and after a while you have 20, 30 beautiful prints. But then what are you going to do with most of them? Because not all of them are masterpieces. And while I was busy with my previous project, you know, the one reference photo, many different art forms and art supplies, I spontaneously did well, this morning I have lost my English, absolutely. This is my second take and I've lost it. Sometimes it's just not working as planned. So I don't know, let's just go with it. So collaging, I've tried it. I am definitely not an expert. My little grandchild, Zana, she asked, Oma, what are you an expert on? Well, definitely not collaging. I think I did one proper collage and then a couple of gluing papers on things. So I'm not an expert on that. But what I am an expert of, that is what I've realized, tongue-in-cheek, is sharing. Oh my gosh, I love sharing. I love sharing what makes me, that brings out the joy in me. I want to share that with others. You know, that's why I share. I share because I get so excited about things. And then I think, you know, others need to see this. They need to experience what I'm experiencing. That brings me so much joy and peace and strength to keep going and to not only, oh, I got through another day today. No, art and things that I experience that brings out the joy in me. It makes life not bearable, but an adventure. And that is why I share. I've been to that place where life was, oh goodness, thank you, I made it through another day. And it was terrible. So my art and my creativity and my sharing has brought me to a place where I'm starting to enjoy my life, and that is why I share. So let's do, Dee and all my other friends out there that have a problem with too many Gelli Plate prints, let's see what we can do with it. So I am once again not planning. All that I know today is I'm gonna do you know, and then you run into, the only problem for me with collaging is sometimes you don't get the glue out. So I've never done it this way, but I am now just with my palette knife, just smearing the glue onto my piece of paper. I'm a little bit fed up with doing things this way, so today I'm gonna do also my Coxcomb mountain range with the little houses, but I'm gonna do it this way and I'm gonna do it from memory. I don't have a reference photo or anything, So I'm just gonna go. I am looking through my stash and I found this, and this looks beautiful for a piece. I'm gonna go and start with the I'm just gonna go for the air, making it a very nice, beautiful blue. So there I go. I am not thinking. As I said, no planning is involved in this. I don't want to plan. I just want to enjoy it. Now for my mountain range, I'm going to look for a little bit different color. There's also a beautiful one that I can use at the bottom to put my houses on. So I'm just screening quickly through these ones. Well, let me lift them up for you to see. These are all prints that's lying on a huge heap. So why not do it a little bit of a black? Okay, so I am now tearing my mountain range. The only thing that's really important about the coxcomb mountain range is the coxcomb. So I am just making sure that that is there. So I'm just tearing. Who cares if it's not perfect? It's just have to be fun. So there you have it. You can also take a pair of scissors and then cut it with your scissors. So now I need a little bit of more glue here, because it's quite hot out, and my previous one that I did, I'll show that one later again. I forgot to show you. I used my finger. I didn't even have a brush or a palette knife. But just look at that. 2 pieces. There's my mountain range. Now I decide, you know what colors would I like? I'm just putting these that I'm using and tearing one side, and I'm looking for, you know, I didn't want to look through it before I was actually doing this, because I want to share the experience with you. These are all beautiful paintings actually. Look at that one. That is what I did on a Gelli Plate. I did a video on this. Look at this one on my Gelli Plate. You see, oh my goodness. These are all paintings I did on the Gelli Plate. If you're new to my channel, I did a whole, I think it was 12. I haven't looked at these for ages and I am still in love with them. So this is the Gelli Plate. My whole experience from making the Gelli Plate to my first Gelli Plate experience, it's all on videos, and you can find it on my YouTube channel. But I am really not going to show you all of these. As I said, I should have sorted that out before I started, but what's the joy of that? Now I can share this with you and go back memory lane. This was actually done on one of my broken Gelli Plates. I mean, isn't that awesome? So So nothing has to be perfect, but I now need to get to the to the ones that I can actually tear up. Right. Oh my goodness. And here are some of the things, remember, that I did with my hot iron and oil pastels. Oh, I really need to go and file all my things. This is an iron. I also made a video about that. A hot iron, vintage iron that I used oil pastels with. Okay, this is turning into a very exciting thing. I am trying to find something that I can actually tear. Well, I'm there. I'm getting to them. Let me show you what I actually are finding here. So I found this one. So let's go for just a piece of orange mountain. There's a piece of orange. I am just going to apply it there. So some glue again. You know, the sticks, the Prit and the stuff, oh gosh, they really aren't good enough. So my palette knife always comes in handy. This is the actual only thing that really drives me crazy with my collage. So I am still doing some mountain ranges there. I'm still busy with my mountain. Then I'm gonna come down with these brown. This brown, isn't this gorgeous? So, you know, mountain ranges, they come and they go. I'm just gonna put this one onto this. Folks, now they're coming very nicely. I should actually put them on this. So that is what I do with my extra Gelli Plate prints. So now I am getting to the place where I need some greens. I don't see lots of greens here. Well, there's one, a Gelli Plate print. It's actually people and some leaves. That's gonna work fantastic. Just tearing out some green pieces, and I am just gonna stick them randomly onto this thing. These are the green bushes. Once again, be like a child. They don't overthink anything. In front here, there was some bushes, so I'm just adding some of my greens here and some of my color. I usually work from the top down, but who cares? And now I'm going for this, because in front of the little houses there was, you know, more sandy patches. more ground, not really much color. So I am just adding pieces of this color there. You really, really, it doesn't have to do anything. That you cannot later undo by just, you can either, that is what I found, you can put some oil pastels. You can use oil pastels over your acrylics, because this is actually my acrylic. I used acrylics paint on this Gelli Plate prints. So to use acrylic oil pastels, they make beautiful marks on your acrylic. And this is acrylic. I am adding some glue on top here. You can do that, why not? I'm just covering up my my paper now. So there you have it. This is the first part of my artwork, my painting. You can see my mountain range. You can see the orange. Oh, I love that orange there. Now there in front is the grass and the ground, some bushes. So what I now need to do, because remember there's, in this I am just gonna put one little house. I'm not gonna put two houses. So in order for that, I need a nice thick white. Okay, I am making a little square, and this I will later, I will color it in, and you know, my little house. So there I am putting my little house. I'm gluing that onto my where I want it. There's my little house that I will later just put the doors and the windows in. I can do it with this as well, or I can just paint it in. What I actually are looking for now, remember the blue, the beautiful blue cactus. So these are absolutely fantastic for that. So I am now going to put some glue here where I want to put the blue cactus plant. And then I'm going to tear, just tear pieces. And I am just going to make my blue flower. And what I always say is, when you have a little bit of blue here, I'm going to put some glue there on my plastic so that I can just add little bit of blues. Here and there, just to make a hint of something else. But there you can see my blue garingpaal in Afrikaans, some kind of cactus, I'm not sure what. But I am going to put another one here, where I started with this blue. I love it. So I am still tearing out little pieces. And the awesome thing with this is you don't have to overthink, because you can always later go and paint over it. I mean, that is the awesome thing. When I started art, I was in total panic. What if I do something wrong? And then I learned, took time, that how can you do something wrong? All you can do is just, this one is a little bit in the wrong space. That little blue one, I'm just gonna bring it a little bit down and just remember it's a little bit further, that plant. So I am just gonna make a little hint of a blue cactus there. Okay, there it goes. Let me show you again. So for balance, I just put a little one there that will be next to the house, and there you have it. So this is how easy it is to create these things. So for the little, let's put in a door. Let's just a little black door that I'm gonna tear out here. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just have to be a hint of a door. There it is. There my house is coming. My house is coming. A little window. And the awesome thing with collage is, as I am now doing this, it doesn't have to be perfect black. Look at this. Look at this. It's not perfectly square. As I say, you can do it square. I am now just going to take my pen, because this is actually just doing a hint here, just for me to see what's happening. There I have my little house. This is the chimney. There's always the fire. They make a fire inside the house, and this is the chimney of this house. There you have it. So there's my little house. There's my scene. Let's take these away so that you can see. And voila, isn't this gorgeous? I mean, really, this is just glue and some paper. And if you're not into Gelli Plate printing and you don't have all these prints, you go and you tear up some of your magazines, and you do exactly the same, because that's what I usually did in the past. And whatever you like here, you keep. What you don't like, you use some either acrylic paints or just some. Let me just see where my, oh, and what I also use is this white pen. This is really something that I absolutely love, because I don't buy, I try not to buy very expensive art supplies because I do so many things. But one thing that I am really loving is a white pen, because you can go on here now with a white pen and do nice marks that keeps go there. It's like a black pen. So now I can put in, it's kind of difficult now because my thing is still very wet, but the flowers that's coming out of these things, I am now just putting in lightly with my pen. There's some there, there's some high ones in front. Later I will really just finish that off, but I absolutely love this. And what I now see, is a woman in a beautiful orange dress in front of the little house. Here she is standing with a beautiful orange dress. Remember, she's a little bit in front, so she's going to be quite large. So I'm putting her there. And then there's the dress, and then I am just going to make her head with a pen. She's on her way to her little house, and in 27 minutes to be exact, I created this beautiful artwork. I mean, I love it. And if I can, you can. This is what they call collage. You glue some papers onto a piece of paper and you create your own painting. I didn't even look at a reference photo. You can, because I love the photos that I take, and I am trying, let me tell you, I am trying to make more art using my own photos and my reference photos and my things, just to make it a little bit more personal. Look what I'm now doing. What I'm seeing here is I'm just taking this pen and just making these things a little bit more well, this is it. This is my favorite one. This is how to use your Gelli Plate prints in a collage. You see it from Z's the slab. It is quite hot out. I am sweating, but it is a gorgeous day. I am now gonna cut the sides, then wait for it to dry. And you know what? The awesome thing is these days with me, I tend, and not even me, most of us, when we start our art journeys, and many years later, we tend to overwork, to keep going. So with this, I wanted to show you the one that I did when Dee asked me to show how I did it. So we tend to overwork, but with this, I really, when I demonstrate something like this, I force myself not to go back. And this is the one. Look at that. That is my first one with my reference photo. Different technique. you will also see, I don't know, I think this is the 4th video in this series that I call, where I'm busy with this experiment. If you're new on the channel, I've got so many art supplies, so many new techniques that I've learned over the past couple of 2 years. Before that it was only acrylics and acrylics. So I feel a little bit out of sorts. I don't know what I actually like, if I can still paint the acrylic, you know. So I thought it just developed that I started with the same reference photo to create all of these, okay, not that one, but all of these artworks from the same reference photos using different supplies. And guess what? My style, you can see in everyone, you can clearly see it. And look, this was just a Gelli Plate print. I still need to do something on it, but this is it. Next time I think I will show you how to do this. This was awesome. But this was my coming home one. This was actually me going back to my acrylics and my palette knife. It felt like coming home doing this one. My previous video was, I showed you, I made a video while I was doing this, and this was actually like coming home. Oh, I loved it. It just came so natural, so easy, and voila, this is my first love actually, acrylics. This was just new to me actually. I did it on paper and not the usual acrylic canvas. But this is today. Same paper, all of these things, same little book, same paper, just different art supplies and techniques. And just look at this. This is absolutely, this whole experiment to me was just mind-blowing. Just realizing how even though I use different supplies and techniques, you can still see me in these things. Isn't it awesome? Art is just magical. So have a fantastic day. Is it from Zetster's Lab? And remember, if I can, you can. It's just do it. We just got to start and we just got to do it. Oh my goodness, I love this. I love the woman in the orange with the mountain range there at the back in orange. Sure. So, you know, I'm excited about my art, and so should you be. Why do art if it doesn't brings us joy and excitement? Then what's the use? So I also had to learn, and it was very difficult for me in my art journey. I think I started in 2008. Before that, I was actually a tennis coach. So this is a total new life for me. But I've always been very creative. So this actually came very natural to me. And now I'm forget beside the point. Oh, then I started selling, I started creating art, I started selling, and then people started to say, oh, but I don't like this, won't you make something like this? And oh, what about something like this? And then later they said, all your things look the same. And then I realized, wow, isn't that exciting? Because I'm starting to find my style, you know? And then I had to grow to a point in my art journey where I don't, okay, and then I get these things, will you please do this for me? But it must actually look like this picture, you know, it's another artist's picture, and I now need to copy it. And then when it's not good enough, then they upset, you know. I said, I'm not that artist. I can do something like that in my style, but oh no, they wanted it the same as the artist or wherever they found the picture. So then I had to grow to that point in my art journey where, you know what? I gotta be true to myself. It's about me and my art and what brings out the joy and peace and strength and love and power, the life in me. What brings out the life in me? Because that is what this is all about. Stay true to yourself. Just create whatever you feel like creating, like this one. And I'm so glad I didn't pick specific papers, because I really just want to go with the flow. And that is where that orange came in, and the woman there. So stay true to yourself and do art because it makes you happy. It makes you come alive, feel alive. And many, many times when the little kids come for art workshops, then they're so afraid. But what if my parents don't like it? You know, will my parents like it? Will other people like it? That is later, when they're a little bit older. But and then they will also come, and when there's a group of more than, when there's a couple of them, they will also say, but that one is much more beautiful, and that one is much more beautiful. And then I have to teach them this. Art is not a competition. Art is just what makes you happy. So yes, I am no longer embarrassed to say, oh, I love this. I absolutely love it. So even though I created it, I love it. I think my art is perfect because it's mine and I love it. And that is what art is all about. That is what your art and your creative things are all about. The same with my clothes that I create. I love it. My cupboard, I've got one cupboard. I'm not going for more than one. I try to keep in that double, cupboard. It's not very big. It's a loose standing cupboard. I try to not overfill it. Well, it's filling to the brim. It is actually overflowing by stuff that I created because I love it. I cannot get rid of them. I don't want to get rid of them because I love them. It's something I created, and I also love wearing it. So that is what art is all about. That is what your creativity is all about, to get to that place where you are, where it brings out the abundant life that's already in you. We desperately need those things that still our minds, so that our minds stop running into the so-called future with all its vain imaginations. Oh, but what if this happens? Oh, but what if this doesn't happen? And that brings so much fear. And also then we drag our past in and on. We feel so depressed, or blah, blah, blah. So art, creativity brings you into this moment. And in this moment, all your needs are met because you have the life, the abundant life that is just then talking to you. Your mind is still, so the small, still voice of your spiritual source, your Father, is then just able to slow and steady and still voice talk to you. And that is when, in that oneness with the life in you, you come to know that all is well. Be still and know all is well. So this is what art does to me. It stills my mind, and it brings me closer to the abundant life in me. That's also your life. Well, long story short, go and tear up your papers and create something that you love now. Today, love you lots. Is it from Zesters Land?